and welcome to Blue Jays Today, where your boys always have something to say with the Toronto Blue Jays. I'm your host, Nicholas Blaylock.
And I'm your host, Adam Peddle. And today, guys, we got to talk about Brandon Belt. Where has this guy been, and where and when can we expect to see him on the field, playing some first place, playing some DH, swinging that baseball bat, and as well, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., what's the update on his knee, and more. Before we get into it, guys, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. All right, so yeah, we signed this guy, Brandon Belt, very last minute, and we haven't seen him. And recently, the word is starting to slip out. Oh, it looks like, maybe Brandon Belt, he's starting to get ramped up a little bit for baseball activity. Because if you guys don't remember, this guy's coming off a knee surgery in September.
Yeah.
So,
and no disrespect to Brandon Belt at all, but I mean, this isn't the young, spry guy that he once was. Like we're talking about an older gentleman right now, probably on the back nine of his career. He needs to take his time. We don't want him to get in a situation where we started too soon, too early, and that knee is causing us problems again, especially considering you got the Guerrero injury update.
Of course.
And you're looking at Brandon Belt. He's probably the guy that if Vladimir Guerrero Jr.'s injury was to continue into the regular season, he's probably the guy that could step in and do a little bit of that first base
100%.
role, alleviate some of that.
100%, and get Vladdy off of his knees. It's kind of funny that both these first basemen have knee problems right now.
There's gotta be something about first base.
I don't know. I don't know,
man. I'm not sure.
Who knows, right? But it looks like Brandon Belt is going to make his spring debut very soon. Next week is the reported rough gray area where he's going to make his debut. John Schneider said last Friday he wanted to do it this time next week, so being this Friday. So be on the lookout. We could see a Brandon Belt debut very soon, and that's a good sign because you're right. Yeah, we might need to get Brandon Belt ramped up to get Vladdy off his feet, maybe DH, maybe split the DH first base role just a little bit.
Absolutely. I mean, we don't know how good Guerrero is going to feel come opening day. Sure, he's coming out and he's saying that he's feeling better, and we're going to get to that in a little bit, but we absolutely need to make sure that there is insurance there, and that effectively comes in the form of Brandon Belt. And when this guy is healthy, when he's feeling good, he can do some really good work, man.
Absolutely.
Last year, obviously, you look at the numbers, they're not as good as they could be, but you look at the ABs, I mean, he only played half a season, and he was probably struggling during that first half, and then he had surgery.
Exactly.
It's tough to go through something like that, right? The 2 years prior to that, though, this guy was lethal.
Yeah, I know.
He was an all-star. He was incredible. He was very, very, actually he wasn't an all-star, which is absolutely
kind of crazy. He must have had a really good second half.
Yeah, what the hell? But either way, man, Brandon Belt can clearly bring something to this team when he is feeling good and feeling healthy. So yeah, I like what they're doing with him.
Yeah, and dude, 100 and we'll take a look at the hits in just a moment. But in this span right here, folks, he had 143 hits, in that time, almost a full season's worth. If he used to play every single day, 579 ABs, that's a full everyday player.
Yeah.
143 hits, that's a lot. That's a decent amount. 37 home runs. This guy is an all-star. Totally. At least he should be.
He could be.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you're going to need that kind of caliber, player. If Vladimir Guerrero, not saying he is going to be injured because he looks like he's going to be just fine, but if he does and he's not feeling a lot better, you need that replacement. But luckily, Guerrero has said lately that his knee, it is feeling a lot better.
Totally, man.
This is good to know.
Yeah,
he hasn't been, obviously we know about the whole World Baseball Classic. He's getting dropped out, but he was talking last Sunday. He's feeling better. He's still taking it slow, and he doesn't expect this to be a big injury. Woo!
Good.
That's good.
Good, man. And I'm happy that he's coming out and he's saying that. I will also say, too, what else is he gonna come out and say? That he's gonna come out and he's gonna say I'm ready to go. I trust him. I know that he's probably coming out and telling us the truth right here. But you also know that some of these injuries like this, right? Not to be a Debbie Downer here. It's these small little things that feel like nothing at the time, can kind of linger in if you're not careful. So I'm very happy that even though I'm sure he really wants to be part of it, he really wants to be playing with the team, he is taking his time and laying off.
Because if he doesn't, buddy, if he goes right back into it, my God, that'd be the worst case scenario if he gets injured again.
Absolutely,
you know
right?
What I mean?
And I mean, think about it right now, right? We need our guys to chill, because as of today, right now, both of our quote-unquote first basemen have knee problems.
Right. Who's going to start at first? Kevin Biggio?
Literally.
No offense, Kevin Biggio, who's the hottest Blue Jay right now in spring training camp.
Yeah.
But I'd much rather have all-star superstar Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
Man. What do you think is a realistic projection for Brandon Belt? You know, like considering he's coming out, he's saying, once again, similar to Guerrero, he's saying that he's feeling better right now. Granted, he is coming off of a big surgery, a big surgery at age 34, 35.
On your knee.
On your knee, which is a pretty bloody important element to your swinging motion and body.
Just moving.
Yeah.
Like literally there's a quote in, I think it was this article right here, where he said he had trouble chasing down the kids in the front yard. When you can't chase down your children, how can you chase down a baseball hurling at you at like 100 miles per hour?
I'll tell you right now, guys. Take whatever the under is on stolen bases for Brandon Belt. I don't believe that there will be a whole lot of stolen bases.
1.5?
Honestly, I bet the over-under is probably half.
Yeah, half? Just one stolen bag?
I don't think he's going to steal a single bag this year.
Wow. Maybe 1.5. I give him 1.5, you know?
I'd still go under.
I definitely would.
I'd probably
There's no way he's stealing, especially with his role that he's going to play this year.
Exactly. You know, I don't really expect him to be a stealing guy. I do expect him to be a hitting guy, though. Obviously, I'm a little concerned that, yes, you're coming off of a big, literally like life-altering, body-altering surgery at this age. I expect him to be good. I expect him to be good. I don't know if I expect him to be the 177 OPS plus good in 2020 that he was, or even the 160 OPS plus good that he was in 2021. But I could 100% see a 2018 season.
That's what I was going to say.
2018, 2017 like season, which I would absolutely take.
I'm going to be honest, guys. I'm going to say like he's going to be just below 800, like a 790, 795. Like I think, look, I don't think he's going to be like obviously what he was in the last 2 years. You know, I mean, Matt Chapman, he was coming off surgery. That's why I'm a little bit worried about Kevin Kiermaier too, because he's also coming off surgery, and they had down years. Spring training looks good to Kevin Kiermaier, but spring training also looks good for Matt Chapman. But we never know. Point being is, I think a modest around an 800 OPS is what I'm expecting, and I'll be more than happy.
Totally, dude.
More than happy for $9.5 million.
Absolutely, and I think that if you're putting up numbers like that, like you were in 2017, 2018, even though these aren't world-ending numbers or anything, you're definitely going to get playing time. You're going to fit in the lineup. You are going to do what you need to do.
That's our 7-hitter right there.
100%.
Oh my God,
100%,
I'd love that.
Dude. Either way, though, point being, we do want Guerrero to be feeling better and feeling healthy. This was a great statistic that they actually threw up on the last spring training game. Bo Bichette and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. here, in the last 2 seasons, they are leading the AL in hits. So I know that Trey Turner's up there, Freddie Freeman's up there, but as far as the American League goes, you got Bo Bichette and you got Vladimir Guerrero Jr., and that just goes and lends itself to how many games these guys play, how
100%.
many just at-bats they just eat up.
100%. Look, dude, that shocked me. 1,242 at-bats from Vladimir Guerrero Jr. That's incredible.
You're not sitting,
You're playing every day.
You're playing all the time, and that just lends itself to saying why we need him to be 100% healthy, because when he is, he's one of the best players on the field.
When do you think, like obviously we're not doctors here, but when do you hope that Vladdy will be back to get ready for the regular season?
That's actually a great question, man, because you don't really want him like first game back, it's opening day. It's like I'd much prefer you to have a little bit of reps before that, just because at the end of the day we need you warm to smack baseballs, and it's hard to get up to game speed that quickly. I would hope that Guerrero probably takes the next 2 weeks off, and then is maybe plays like the last week of spring training and is effectively ramping up, and then straight into the season.
I could see in that 2 weeks like this, I could see a whole week of him just day to day sitting, resting, like icing, going to see therapists, physiotherapists, and then in that next week of the 2 weeks, batting practice. He's doing running drills, he's doing fielding drills, and then he gets back maybe a week and a half before spring training, because there's about 3.5 weeks left, which is kind of crazy to say that, right? So I'm hoping that's the kind of timeline for his return. If that's the case, then I think we're going to get a good Vlad for opening day.
I agree, man. The one big positive here, folks, is that when we're looking at our 2 core pieces in Bo Bichette and Guerrero, Bichette's definitely been holding down the fort while Vlad has been feeling a little under the weather with the knee. We got a tweet out here from Chris Black, and he's effectively just saying what I mean, I think both of us were observing, and a lot of you guys have been observing, is that Bo Bichette so far during spring training has been doing what I want him to do, what I've always wanted him to do, and when he does do that thing, he's incredible. And that's just take a few pitches.
Yeah, I haven't seen him swing at a lot of curveballs way down in the dirt. I think it maybe the second game in the season when he was in the lineup, I did see a couple of those, but ever since I haven't. And granted, if you do look at this video here, some of these, you know, they are pretty easy takes, but you've seen Bo Bichette absolutely swing at them
before, man.
And that's what gets him down in the hole.
Yes.
And that's what gives the pitcher advantage. And you know, I'm not complaining because that approach before led you the American League the last 2 seasons in hits, but imagine what you could do if you could actually capitalize on that potential. You could be one of the best ball players ever.
Well, that's
you know what I mean?
I think what we've all kind of just been like screaming at the top of our lungs for so long is the fact that Bo Bichette has been leading the American League in hits for the last 2 years, and he's been doing that swinging at garbage, right? If he took, like, you're making it easier on the pitcher right now. If you took that element out of the game and you really hone in on just, this is where the spot where I'm going to swing. If it's not here, I'm not going for it. Even if you make it to full count, like, it's always going to be advantage Bo Bichette.
Yeah.
Because I trust you, the literal leader in hits, over whatever pitcher's on the board. I know that you are going to be able to get a hit in that position.
Dude, I think you're going to get more hits because you're going to get more better pitches to hit for sure. Like, you're not going to get good pitches to hit when you're way behind, and you're going to get a higher on-base percentage.
Totally.
Everything of your game is just going to get a ton better. And man, if he could actually break out this year, I want to really break out. I'm talking 1,000 OPS breakout.
He's kind of broken out in the fact that he's literally led the league in
hits.
So
he's
definitely a very good player still. But you're saying take that even further level, you know? Because we've never had the conversation of Bo Bichette MVP.
No,
it's always been maybe Guerrero could win MVP this year, but we've never really seriously had the conversation of could Bo Bichette win
I think
MVP?
we flirted with that idea back in like 2020, like in his second season when he came out and he hit over 300, and we got like half a year. We're like, oh, this guy's really good.
Definitely.
You know, he could definitely go make a run at for MVP. He's got low odds. But you're right, like he's got to add that on base, you know, and then get a bit more of that slugging power. Yeah. And then the rest of your game is just going to complement it beautifully, and you could be a top 3 easily MVP.
Absolutely, dude. Easy. I mean, I think that when you look at that list too, the list that we just had up of the hitting people, Trey Turner's number 1, and I think that that's kind of the ceiling as to where Bo Bichette is capable of going. Like, he can be a Trey Turner-esque player consistently. And if he takes a few more pitches, I think it could happen.
Absolutely. Guys, let us know in the comments down below. What do you think about Brandon Belt? Are you excited to see him in the lineup for the Blue Jays? And are you at all worried about Vladdy? Let your voices be heard in the comments.
Also, please hit the like and the subscribe button, guys. In $3 a month, come out a Patreon member shout-out, and thank you to every single one of these current Patreon members and our YouTube members as well. You are all freaking awesome.
Guys, thank you so much for watching.
And go Jays, go!